Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we back with another episode. This is officially episode 2 of Industry Codes with your boy JB Commander. We out here. It's a cold day in the city right now. You can see I'm looking cozy. I'm out here, dog. It's raining today, but we still up. It's episode 2, guys. As I said, man, we're gonna keep this real relaxed. We're gonna keep just sharing this information, sharing this knowledge. I've got one topic for the day. I'm gonna try to keep these topics to 1 or 2 max because I don't want the videos to be too long. So I'm gonna try to keep it to one topic because these topics are diverse, bro. So we need time to unpack it. So the topic for today is standing out as an artist. Yeah, this is a very tricky one. How do you stand out as an artist? This is, I get this question a lot from homies, and it's, how do you stand out as an artist? Why should you stand out? What is standing out, and what are the benefits, and how do you do it? So before we jump into that, I've shared my screen here. I don't know what's happening with my mouse. I've shared my screen. And I'm on Vimeo. So everyone who isn't on Vimeo, if you're a content person, you have to be on Vimeo. Because Vimeo is where the directors upload their stuff. It's where the creators, so like the producers, the DOPs, the directors, the people that actually make the stuff happen behind the scenes, they post their work on Vimeo. So Vimeo is where you get the raw, unfiltered versions of content. So, generally you'll find, let's just say you're a director, right? Directors will post their works on Vimeo, but you'll see like a different version. So let's say a director's done a music video. You'll generally see director's cuts on Vimeo, which there's a big difference between a director's cut and the video you see on TV or the video that's on YouTube. Because generally I watch after watching the video that's out for the masses, I always watch the director's cut. Sometimes I just watch the director's cut and not even watch the commercialized version, because the director's cut is the purest direction. So it's exactly the video or film the way the director intended, right? So it's his direction, what's in his mind. That's what you see in a director's cut. Sometimes when you see the final version, it's not the same as the director's cut, because the final version, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of variables. The clients might be like, okay, this is a Coca-Cola advert, so we want you to add this shot because the Coke looks better, or we want you to add that shot because these people represent this, etc., etc. But in terms of the actual direction, the director might have different shots that are more creative, but maybe they don't express the brand to the fullest, if that makes sense. So you'll find a lot of creative expression on Vimeo because it's what the creator generally, it's their vision. You get to see their vision. So I just wanted to start off our video here. I've got this video that's on my feed that I found. I haven't watched it before. It was posted 2 days ago by Anatole Trofimov. Anatole Trofimov. Yeah, definitely not an English person, of course. The title of this video is Battle of the Baddest, Lil Baby, Skrillex, Big Flow Dan, right? I haven't seen a Skrillex video in a while. They're generally crazy, but also a Skrillex and Lil Baby combo, that sounds mad. So this is what I love about Vimeo. I haven't actually seen this video on YouTube, but I've just come across it here on Vimeo. As I was saying the other day, like sometimes the algorithm on YouTube is not going to favor the most creative content. It's generally going to favor what's getting the most clicks. So this might be the most creative thing, but it might not be getting the clicks in terms of the algorithm. So if you aren't following Skrillex, then you might not even get to see this. So let's just check this out.
There's no guarantees, Jeremiah. You know that. It's going to be a long time surgery. Yeah, stress on
Pepper. That's a crazy transition off the bat. Ego jumping into the hole. Wow. Ish. Yes. They got a cameo from Cristiano Ronaldo. That is bad. Okay, wait. I had to pause the video. Because off the bat, what I'm thinking of. So, right, I'm in video production, and this is something I battle with a lot when it comes to clients. Clients will send references like this, right? That's the thing, right? They'll watch videos like this, and then they'll send this reference, and they'll be like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to do something like this. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize, I don't know how this goes over people's heads, but the budget that goes into these type of music videos is ridiculous, right? We're talking up to the millions, right? I'm talking about millions in dollars, right? That's how much these productions get to execute such videos. That's why when you watch the credits, there'll be a whole line. There'll probably be like 32 or 50 names that you see, because that's all of the people that worked into making this one video happen, right? And all 50 of those people that you see on the credits got paid industry standard. I'm not talking about they got paid the discounts, they got paid the favor fee. All 50 of those people that you see on the credits to make this one video got paid full price, if not more, to do the best job ever. So I'm just laughing because I'm just thinking, I'm just watching now, seeing Cristiano doing a cameo in this video, is that this is definitely one of the things we struggle with, especially in Durban, where people want the biggest thing, but then when it's like pay for me to achieve it, then the conversation starts to go, ish, I've only got so much, right? And yeah, it's a tricky position to be in, because you can't execute. It's not even about a talent thing. It's just a production reality of, like, you can't do a job that needs 50 people on set. You can't do that with just 5 people. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how talented you are, but certain processes need a complex team to achieve it, right? And so if you don't have if you haven't hired the right amount of people, if you can't pay enough people to achieve that idea, then then it gets tricky trying to do that with like a low budget. So yeah, just had to pause. So yeah, just to go back to the Cristiano moment, I'm sure you guys probably know the original version of this. I'm gonna call it a skit. So what they've done is they've recreated this press release, whatever. But the fact that Cristiano is there, whether this was like 2 seconds or 5 seconds in the video, but he got paid to be sitting there, right? Because it's his time. It's not a favor. It's not like, you're my boy, let me come through, Skrillex. No, he's paid to sit there and take time out of his day to fly, go to a set, sit down, read some lines, practice them, and then shoot that. You get paid for that, right? So he's been paid just to do what he's doing, right? And yeah, you can imagine how much it costs to get Cristiano to do this cameo. Soccer players know how much he earns per second. This is crazy. Let's go, baby. Classic shot that. Oh, y'all saw that? They also got this homie here. Again, another cameo. For him to be there, right? When we watching the video, we just seeing like 2 seconds of him, right? And we thinking, it was just 2 seconds. But no, like he was there on set, right? They had to shoot this. So his time to be there, he has to get paid for this. Because he's a brand, you feel me? He's a brand, so him standing with the board, not everyone can do it. Well, they can be like, let's just find another person to do it. But then it just loses the power of it, you know. But when you get the actual guy like him, right? This is his thing. He is the actual guy who does that whole thing with messages on the board. So when you get the real deal, it's like that's what you're paying for. Like you're paying for his brand. You're not just paying for his time only, but you're paying for the brand that he's built. That when people watch, they're gonna be like, oh snap, this guy. Yo. Don't even get me started on the editing. Yes. Yo, that was crazy. That was wild. That was crazy. Yeah, I like watching stuff like this, just to like get those creative juices sort of buzzing, just to see what's happening. Let's see what's happening around the world. It's super inspiring. Yeah, dude, super inspiring. But yeah, as I was saying, man, like just watching these music videos like this again, it's just that reminder what I've learned. Like when it comes to music videos, it's very important when you're having that dialogue with the artist and the team that's commissioning you to make a music video. Like when you guys are sharing ideas and stuff, and they're saying, yo, I see like this will be dope, or this type of execution, etc. What I've learned is it's very important though to express what's realistic within the budget. So I always off the bat, I always ask for the budget and then I work in reverse, as opposed to working on a treatment, because it's just happened too many times, right? Where we have these back and forth meetings with artists and creatives, right? Wanting to do a music video, and I'll work on the most elaborate treatment, right? And then when I'm like, hey, here's this idea we were thinking of. I've now put it on paper. I've taken maybe a week of my time to put this thing on paper, to plan it out, to break down all of the scenes, break down the budget. Then as soon as they've read it, they're like, ish, this is over budget, right? Which is a very tricky position to be in, because you've now wasted a week of your time, right? Because coming up with an idea, like concept development, is something you get paid for. It actually falls under what we call pre-production. Pre-production in a production is something that is paid for. There's pre-production, which is the planning of the production. There's production, which is the shooting of the production. And then there's post-production, which is the editing and delivering of the production. So pre-production is something you pay for. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, as on a small scale level, as a freelancer, generally clients won't pay you for pre-production. So you have a lot of meetings, like this whole thing of having meetings, you going having coffee with people, that's pre-production. Technically, that's pre-production, because you're using your money to have this coffee. You're sitting down with someone and they're explaining this idea, and you guys are coming up with how to execute it. That's time out of your day. So for you to spend 3 days having meeting with someone, only for them on the 4th day to say, sorry, we can't afford it, that's actually daylight robbery, to be honest. And the sad part is, if you haven't been paid for that pre-production, there's nothing you can do about it, because you didn't quote them for it, you didn't speak about it up front. So because you didn't do that, then you lost time, you know. So that's one thing I'm very aware of now. Just having been through a lot of scenarios and situations with people, I'm very intricate with my time now. I don't like this whole thing of having 50 million meetings, even on the phone call. You know, some people can like to come up with ideas on the phone call, but this thing of I can't spend an hour trying to break down your idea, because that's consultation. That's a consultation. People pay for consultation. For you to come with the idea and be like, yo, bro, I'm thinking of this event, I'm thinking of this, blah, 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 blah. For me to then take my mind, right? Remember, the ideas are in my mind. For me to sit down and be like, yo, actually, how about you roll out like this? How about you then think about this venue? And then how about we do this rollout in terms of marketing, blah, 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 blah. That's a consultation. Even if you don't book me to do the shooting, or book me to be part of the team that's working on the event, but you calling me, that was a consultation, right? So that's why I'm very dodgy, honestly, when it comes to phone calls and people giving me ideas off the bat, because my response is money. Honestly, these are facts. My response is money, because you coming with the problem, I will break it down for you in less than 10 seconds. So I'm very I'm very aware of that. So I try not to waste too much time on phone calls and unnecessary meetings. This thing of having 50 million coffees when budget isn't even confirmed is honestly a waste of time. It's a waste of everybody's time. If you don't have your idea together and you're not sure you want to do this thing, then we're wasting time. You can't be having meetings with me because you're trying to figure out if you want to do this thing or not. All you need to be coming to me with is, this is the budget, this is how much I have. JB, can you fit into this plan? That's it. Then I jump in. Simple as that. But I can't hold your hand and try to break down the idea for you, because you're not going to pay me for that. You feel me? Like, yeah, you have to be very cautious with your time, because especially as a freelancer, like this is your 9 to 5. This is your 9 to 9. This is your forever. So things aren't, you don't have guarantees of how much money you're getting a month. You don't have guarantees of how much money you're getting every day. So you need to make sure that all of the work that you do is paid for. You can't be out here doing work for free. You can't be out here doing favors if it doesn't align with your overall vision. You feel me? Then you're wasting your time just doing favors and having 50 million meetings exercising all of your creative juices and giving them away to people that probably aren't even gonna pay you. But yeah, that's my 2 cents, especially when it comes to music videos. Just be aware. Just always be aware, and make sure that you just express that to whoever's asking you for a music video. It doesn't matter what ideas they're sending. It doesn't matter how many references. You just express to them as much as possible what is realistic. You feel me? You always need to express what is realistic, and express it in a way that they understand that it's not that you can't do it, right? Because people tend to mix that up. They think because you say you can't, they can't afford to do it, then they think you don't have the technicality to do it. But that's generally not the case. Most of the time it's just a budget thing, where it's like, no, I need to outsource someone that does animation to do these effects, or I need to outsource somebody that does VFX who needs to be paid 50k to do that effect. So I can definitely do the production, I can make it happen, but if you can't afford to pay for it, then it can't happen. It's not that I don't have the skill set to do it, or I don't have the capacity. It's just production. If I'm hitting the production, I'm not doing everything on the production anyway. You feel me? But yeah. So back to the topic for the day. Topic for the day, as I said, was how to stand out as an artist, right? And yeah, this is a very tricky subject, because we live in a social media age now where if you don't stand out, then you really suffer. There's no nice way to say it. It's just as simple as that. If you don't stand out, then you're really gonna struggle, because the social media age has made everything very short term, especially in terms of attention. So if whatever it is that you're doing, people have seen it everywhere, then they aren't that interested in seeing it, right? But when you do something that people haven't seen, or when you start creating things that people aren't used to or haven't seen, then people start to get aware of you, right? So it's very important. It's very important to stand out, and I'd say standing out and sort of your individuality shining as an artist is one of the most important things, because for me, it's the separation from you making money and you just being a talented person. And that's the tricky part. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of talented people, right? But they aren't making money, right? And there's hundreds of thousands of people that aren't that talented, but they're making a lot of money. So there's like a blurry line that, as a creative and a person who's talented, there's a line you have to cross, and a simple example of this, of talented people, right, not making money, is this thing of people. Let's say there's a hit, right? There's a song that's probably trending all over the place, right? It's on radio, you hear it on TV, you hear it on the streets, you hear it on taxis. It's everywhere because it's catchy or it's funny, whatever it is, but the song is trending. The artist, maybe it's a one-hit wonder, but they're doing tours right now. They're getting booked all over the place because they're relevant. You'll find talented people, right? Talented people, producers or songwriters who aren't making money. They'll be sitting in the back and they're like, yeah, but the song isn't that good. Like, listen to the production, listen to the 808s, or listen to the vocal, or listen to the songwriting. It was a sucky song. It wasn't that dope. Blah blah blah. So the reality is, though, as much as you are talented and you have all of this insights on how that song could have been better, the reality is you aren't making money, right? That untalented person who seems to be popping off right now, they're making money, right? So that's the blurry line you have to cross if you want to survive in this game of like, how do you make money? And you can't get stuck in your head of you thinking you're so talented that you deserve the world. It doesn't matter how talented you are. There's plenty of talented people who don't make it, you know. um, it's that simple concept again of standing out. Whoever that artist is, they popped off because they were standing out. They said something cheesy and they caught on, right? You might be the craziest lyricist, right? But your stuff might not pop off because maybe it isn't cheesy enough. I don't know. Maybe there isn't something that you've done or said that resonates with the masses, that resonates with the people. Something that they can maybe laugh at or connect with to a level where they're like, yo, I want to play this thing over and over again. You feel me? So standing out, that's where standing out comes in, you know. And as a creative, you constantly have to think about what is it that you bring to the table, right? And figuring out what it is that you bring to the table that's different to everyone else goes back to you understanding your individuality. So if you're a creator, if you're an artist, you always have to ask yourself, what is it that I do that is different from what every other artist does? You know, what is it? Is it my messaging? Is it how I speak? Is it what I believe in? You know, is it my style? Is it a technical thing? Is it my voice? Is my voice more high pitched than everyone else? Is my voice more low pitched than everyone else? Is the style of my beats, does it have a lot of, I don't know, hi-hats and snares in the beginning, whatever it is. But you have to have a unique style and offering that stands out, that when everyone plays your song or when somebody sees your artwork, they're like, oh snap, that's a JB Kumeta artwork, you know, that's a JB Kumeta song. Oh, that's a JB t-shirt. Oh, that's a JB event. Like everything that you're doing, people have to be able to put a face behind your creation without even seeing you. You feel me? That's your individuality, you know. Umzegezege, for example. Umzegezege at the time, he had no face, but he had a mask on him. But that stood out because everybody then recognized the mask, you know. So the mask became how he stands out. Everybody in the industry, you know their faces, you can see their faces. Then comes this one guy who's wearing a mask. You feel me? Already he's got your attention because like, yo, who is this guy? Why does he have a mask? Haha, it's funny. He's dressed like he's in a prison. You know, he's dressed in overalls, etc., etc. He's got this mask. But on top of that, his music is actually dope. It's catchy. You feel me? So now you've got that one thing that makes you stand out, that draws people's attention to you. So you have to figure out what is that one thing that makes you stand out, you know? Outside of your talent, outside of your experience, outside of your technical ability, what is it that makes you stand out? What is it that when you play your song, as soon as it starts, people are like, oh, you feel me? You know? What is it as soon as people hear your voice, that first note, they're like, okay, I already know who this is. I don't even need to read the title. You feel me? What is that one thing as soon as you start your artwork, as soon as people see it, where they're like, okay, I know who touched this, right? That's the most important thing, because familiarity is what brings you the money. You feel me? People invest and buy into something that people can easily that is familiar to people, right? So people do a lot of what we call emotional buying, where they buy something based upon the fact that other people will recognize it. You feel me? So let's just say you're a visual artist. If you're a nobody, right, and nobody knows of you, you might have the craziest artwork. If a millionaire buys it and they put it in their house and their friends come in and they're like, oh, this is nice, who is it, right? Then it's almost like there's a certain effect that isn't achieved when nobody knows the stuff that you have. You feel me? As opposed to your friends walking in, and as soon as they see that painting, they're like, "Oh snap! Is this a JB piece? I know it's a JB piece. I think I've seen this." Like that effect. That's what emotional buying is about. It's that buying something that makes you feel good because it can be recognized by other people. So that's why people go into Louis Vuitton. That's why people go into Gucci. They buy it because why? When you go into the Gucci website and you look at that t-shirt, you can see that it's 15K. So when I'm wearing it and you looking at me, you're like, yeah, I'm the you feel me? So that's emotional buying, and it's unfortunately something you can't run away from. If you are a creator, you have to understand the mindset of people, because your products need to attract consumers, right? So you have to understand how consumers think, and emotional buying is a real thing. As I'm saying, people buy expensive stuff 90% of the time. There'll be a 5% who are like, I like the design, I like the material, I like the story behind Virgil when he was making this. There'll be a handful of that. But to be honest, 99% of the people buy it because they know it's expensive and they know it's expensive. So that's that emotional buying I'm talking about. And when it comes to whatever you're offering, that's something you need to remember. If people are going to look at your artwork and nobody recognizes it, then you lose that effect, right? You lose that effect, when people play you the song that they like and they play it to their friends but nobody knows it, then it loses that effect. It's like, you feel me? So yeah, standing out is super, super, super vital. It's hand in hand with your technical ability, but in today's day and age, I'd say it's actually a bit more. It's a bit more because it is possible now to pop off and become famous and make a lot of money without being talented, just by familiarity alone, just by people recognizing your face, just by people knowing your story, what you're about, just by people being aware of what you believe in, what you stand for. That messaging alone can make you someone that's known. You feel me? So when it comes to standing out as an artist, I'd say those are the major keys. There's so much more we can discuss on this, but if there's anything I'd like to stress is, as a creator, this is something you have to be constantly thinking about. Whether you're a photographer, whether you're a videographer, you need to constantly ask yourself, how do I stand out? It's not about you taking the same picture as whatever photographer is trending now. It's about, how do I take a picture that whenever I take a picture, everybody knows I took the picture. That's what you need to focus on. That's what you need to focus your energy on, because that's what does your marketing for you. When you can start releasing content that people are like, nah, that's JB. I don't even need to know. I don't even I can just see that's him. Like that video, that's JB. Like that photo, that's JB. That artwork, that's J. I don't even, your work has to get to that level, right? And the only way for your work to get to that level is you starting to harness the skills you already have of your individuality. That's the only way it's gonna work. It can't work by you copying other people. Everyone can copy anyone, Any kid, any rich kid can buy a camera today and be like, okay, I'm also gonna get the same quality as whatever photographer that's trending and buy the same camera, right? But the sauce is what makes you the money, right? And the sauce is that individuality. You standing out, that's your superpower, that's your source. You feel me? That's what people are going to come back to. So it's not necessarily about the equipment, it's not necessarily about your technical ability, it's 99% of the time about your style. Is it recognizable? After you've done work for a client and they tell their friends, this video was done by JB Gumete, all their friends going to be like, wow, you got JB to do your video? That's crazy. You feel me? That's the effect that people want. So you need to work on, how do you get that effect, and what is it that you can do and only you can do that will make you stand out. So yeah, folks, that's the end of this episode. As I said, I'm gonna try to keep these as short as I can. Again, there's so much to discuss, and I'll revisit a lot of these subjects and topics because there's so much to unpack. We've had an overview of basically how to stand out as an artist, but there's a lot more steps that I'll be going into in depth and following episodes to come, of like, okay, how do you then zone into that, how do you decide on, am I just gonna use my technical ability to make a sound that is unique to me, or am I gonna do something visual with my appearance to make me stand out? Am I going to do something with my hair? Am I going to do something with makeup? Am I going to dress a certain way? There's so many actions that you can do to start standing out. Or am I going to do a combination where my sound is unique, and then even the way I dress is unique, and even the way I speak is unique, and even the videos I do are unique, even the way I move when I'm in public? There's a whole combination of things you can do to stand out. And we're going to be talking about a lot of the stuff in the episodes that come. But yeah, this was the beginning of this topic. We'll definitely be unpacking it a lot more. I hope you guys got some insights in that though, and just to get you thinking, at least start thinking about what is it that I bring to the table, and what is it that only I can do. That's your superpower. What is it that only I can bring to the table? Those are your strengths. That's what people are gonna buy into. So yeah, that's the end of episode 2. If you made it this far, throw a hearts in the comments. Thank you to all of you guys that are subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It keeps us going, keeps me going. This is officially the end of episode 2, Industry Codes with JB. See you on the next episode. Peace.